roll with it.
You don't need your phone. You got Strahd.
No, yeah.
You need
Who
your
needs
phone
it?
to bump up your average viewer count. This is also eating my mobile data. So
I love eating mobile data. It's my favorite thing. I mean, you're about to see a lovely screen transition there. Strahd's gonna eat your ass if you. Whenever the screen
Phone is
finally
temporary.
transitions.
Strahd is forever until he isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, that was.
It's somewhat needed.
Let's try this forever too, is not. I love that.
All right. So when we last left
Strahd
off,
is forever until the party finds him.
oh well, that might happen sooner rather than later. Who knows?
Oh,
Yes, when we last left off, the party had been aiding the Martikov family at the Wizard of Wine's winery, and after a horde, I think is probably the correct descriptor I would use, of creatures and druids that had taken realm in this winery. The party have finally, as far as they're aware, cleared it out. They're all currently down in the cellar. It was a pretty hard-fought battle. And the night is sort of getting ever later. It's probably around like 7:30, 8 o'clock around this point to give you a rough idea of time. But you're all together. You're all alive. A little bit worse for wear. But all alive. So what would you like to do?
Guys, I think we should probably clear out this downstairs, find what we can, and then get out. We know there's something in one of the rooms, but I can't remember which room.
I guess we have to go around and start looking for them.
Maybe we could return with backup and explore together with the Ravens.
I think that might be a good idea, as long as we're happy that this is clear now.
Maybe leave somebody behind to warn others.
Or maybe
So
we
what-
don't leave one person on their own.
Also, what's that
What?
black staff over there?
Could go wrong.
And yeah, Callan, things of note that you think were a little bit strange. I mean, areas you guys haven't seen, I guess. Next to Lux, down in the basement there is a doorway. And like right next to him. It's got, I think the dynamic lighting might just cut it off. But you
think
can
that's
just
it.
about see it
Yeah.
there. There is a doorway there
yeah.
that you've not investigated yet down here. And there's also, you felt the northernmost wall in this chamber. It felt cold, like as you got near it. You felt that cold on your back of your neck.
Oh,
Could I have a closer inspection of the wall?
Of course, yeah. You could do me just a general investigation check if you want to, like, sort of like, you know, look, search around the wall, try to work out what that might be or anything of that
Hey,
nature.
does someone want to help me with this? This wall, it feels cold. I'm not sure. It's like there's something
I'll help you.
behind it.
I'll give you a hand.
Is that okay for advantage?
Yeah.
There we go. My boy.
Damn, boys. I'm tempted to say a certain phrase. I'll refrain from it.
Don't do it.
Like, you-
Don't do it.
No,
Don't do it.
can't do-
I
Don't
will.
do
I will force a TPK. I will get Callan to overstep his mark and TPK us just to negatively reinforce that behaviour.
Let's
Oh.
see.
Also,
Yes,
And
why
if you
would-
if you dare say understandable, have a nice day now, I swear to God.
also, who took that the black staff from the druid last time? Did anyone
But
take
that's
it?
your I don't feel about the ticket.
I think I noticed it as well as a couple of others. But
You haven't looted any bodies yet or anything. No one has done any looting so far. That's why we're kind of down here before the Martikovs enter, to give you guys a chance, if you want to, acquire any belongings or take anything from the winery, perhaps without their knowing. That is definitely something that could be achieved.
Could Seeker try check out the door as well? Like listen to it if he hears anything behind it?
Yeah, so while Callan's kind of like searching this wall and investigating it, yeah, you definitely can sort of investigate that little door. You can make me take a general perception check if you want, just try to listen to it, so you can hear anything behind it, anything like that. Meanwhile, Callan,
Wrong character.
you see me. What's there I want? Right. So you, as you're sort of like moving along, Callan, where the room narrows at its smallest point, you actually uncover there is a secret door there, which seems to just be a kind of like a section of the wall, which can be just like pushed open. It literally just spins on a central kind of like axis, like a revolving point. So you'd have to like spin it, like shuffle sideways through. And if you did spin it just enough to peer in, then you would see a kind of like long, kind of like dark chamber. And it does take some effort to sort of push open the door itself, but like once it goes, it does spin. And you're immediately greeted by like a blast of cold air in your face. This dark tunnel stretches for about 15 foot, and then it ends at an archway, and then just beyond that you see the natural sort of like cavern wall begin to fall in around it, as opposed to like this kind of man-made structure. And you see this like shallow cave there. It looks like not very deep, but it obviously branches off to the left and right.
Off character, is it a fridge? It's a fridge.
Natural fridge.
Yeah, there's a walking fridge.
Did you?
I mean, if you're gonna make a wine, sorry.
Anything there? Heyo.
And I would say, Callan, with your passive perception, you would easily spot that all across the walls in this cave and kind of at the end of that archway, you see this like brown furred-like substance kind of like clinging to the wall. If you want to try to see if you recognize what it might be, you can get a nature check, if you'd like. 14? Yeah, a 14 is enough to recognize this is brown mold. Brown mold is a very specific type of mold that it feeds on warmth and it draws heat from anything around it. So anything within normally about 30 foot of it always feels like a frigid temperature. So yeah, effectively it is a fridge in a sense. It does emit a toxic, well, not even like a toxic, it's more just like the sheer cold of it can be harmful if you like spend too much time near it. Like it actually could hurt someone. Theoretically, it is a hazard.
Didn't we see this like this at this mold somewhere else before? Or was it some other campaign?
Not sure.
I don't think you've seen brown molds before.
No. He'll update the group, and probably with the suggestion that, well, if you're going to build a winery that needs to keep things cool, you might as well have a cavern that's got brown mold in it to keep things chilled underground.
I mean, has Callan ever had any kind of like building experience at all? Like, has he got any personally like masonry tools or even architecture, anything like that? Any sort of background he could pull from?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then, yeah.
As a courtier, I think he could have been in some wineries, maybe, visiting.
It's more about the general construction of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Instruments, and that's it.
Will we explore the corridor?
Yes. What's that door there that you're having a look at?
I think with a 10 perception check, he can't tell anything specific, correct?
You don't hear anything beyond it? Silent.
I'm just gonna like skip up to it and slowly open it if I can.
It is a door.
Yep.
He'll just like look at you, informing you what it is.
You open the door,
Door.
Lux, and you reveal a stairwell leading up. This one, unlike the others, this is a straight stairwell, not curved.
I think I'm going to start looting the bottom. I'm going to start looting everything downstairs. The druid. I'm going to have a look, check the druid, and then check the twigs and stuff.
Sure thing. So down here, there is plenty of folk. If you sort of like wish to loot the druid in particular, that one. Let's see here.
Magic.
I'm going to have a look at this druid.
Magic is
He's...
that quarterstaff, if it's magic, that could be pretty good for you, Max.
Yeah, Max,
So,
the thing of most note from the druids that you can pull is that it's that long, warped black staff that I'd shown before.
I'm going to go, Lux, come here.
I'm gonna start like two little, taking my time by waddling over there.
Lux.
Yeah.
Look, would you know what this is? I've never seen anything like it before. And like I kind of like pointed to before Katachi just point the black staff to Lux.
Yep.
And while I do that, like I just like without touching their fingers, I carry on shuffling around to see if I can find something else.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, Seeker would try going into the room, just looking, if possible. Oh, if possible.
What can I check would I be to know where a staff is, really?
I mean, you
I've
could
got a
either do an
staff.
Arcana check if you want to try to summarize whether or not it might be magical. I mean, just looking at it, you would very easily have. It would be very simple to summarize. It could be used effectively as a quarterstaff. Like, it's got that heft to it. It's not going to snap super easily.
Can I help him with Arcana? Get assist him?
Yeah, you can assist him if you want. If you're like trying to go over this and make sure it all makes sense.
Yeah.
You've rolled in the Avery channel, but it's
Been, like
14 then a 9.
14.
With my polar master, I'll probably would know what his fucking staff would.
Well, it's kind of like mine, but not. But a little more icky.
Yeah, I mean, like, you would again, like, it does seem to be magical. You're not gonna know what it's capable of. With magic items, you would know if they do require attunement. Normally, doing something like spending a short rest with them and attuning to them, you would learn their properties, which could help.
Speaking of that, I'm going to now cast Detect Magic, because I can do that at will.
Oh,
and
beautiful, yeah.
Does it?
Yes, this will definitely radiate with enchantment magic. Specifically, it would probably radiate with even a little bit of necrotic, I would say.
I will... Max will see my eyes go blue, but... Well, that's actually got enchantment magic with it, and a little tiny bit of necrotic.
No, do you think it's dangerous?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to try and touch it.
Yep, you touch it. Feels like a wooden staff.
Just feels like my staff right here. You know, click them together. I cling them together.
I know, you touched the wood nicely. Looks like you know how to touch the wood.
Wow.
So it may seem.
You managed that stiff wood very well, my friend.
Wow. I can know my way around a staff.
Oh, look at it with 2 hands. That's impressive.
Oh, there we again, Paul.
Look at me, got 2 stiff woods. Okay, I hope I can, yeah.
True.
It reminds me of the Lost Argonian made from Skyrim.
Okay.
So I will say, if you guys spend like a little bit of time searching all the druids' bodies and stuff, you'll probably pool together about 40 gold in coinage of copper and silver pieces. It's lots of small change, nothing bigger than that kind of like quite small. As it would be silver, be electrum, copper and electrum pieces, but it totaling to about 50 gold. So anyone can note that down. As for items, every druid carried a quarterstaff. They didn't have any armor. They were wild men. They didn't really have much use for things. A lot of like trinkets, like, you know, oh yeah, like 17 ears on a stick, like weird stuff like that. But nothing that you would be like, this is useful. Probably stuff you'd be like, let's not touch that in case it's cursed.
Okay, I'm gonna grab one more quarterstaff, so I have a spare one.
Yeah, sure.
And that's 50. So 50 gold. So that's how much is that? Was that 12.5 each?
Yeah, you can split it 4 ways.
Yeah. But if it's a 40 gold or 50?
50.
50.
Cool.
Sequelas, shouldn't we take both the staffs and sell one later? Profit?
They're like fucking like 1 copper or something. They're like 1 copper. Can't they? Cheap.
I don't know. Maybe not a Strahd.
We're in Barovia.
Okay. All right. I'll carry them all.
What about?
Thank you.
What about this?
Marcus.
What about the enchantment one? Just kind of.
I think it's better for you to keep it like it is magical.
Oh, okay.
Although, Max, if we find a creature that we need to hit and it's resistant to non-magical attacks, then even if you can't necessarily attune to it, you'd be able to
true.
Overcome that resistance. Just a thought.
That's okay. I don't mind keeping it in if you are okay with it.
I am fine with that.
I'll spend some time with it.
Yeah, should we see what it does first, and then we can make a decision from there?
You will spend time with the wood.
I'm going to spend time rubbing the wood, yes.
Find out what it does. I think that'd be the best bet.
That opal stare into my fucking soul.
And,
I'm gonna spend an hour playing with the wood.
Okay. Do you want to do that in the winery here? Or do you want to wait, or do you want to get the Martikovs over first? Because you still have that stairwell as well to explore.
I think I'm just gonna help him search. I mean, do you all think I should learn this stuff now, or just wait for until later?
I mean, keep it with you, and if we at whatever point we have a rest,
I agree.
Then
That's all
we'll do
fine.
it then. We shouldn't be late. It's getting a little late.
Okay.
We're not completely wrecked, so that we can
All right.
afford to.
So I'm gonna take one of the cloaks from the druids. So if they had one, they're gonna wrap around the staff. I'm gonna put him back.
Okay.
For now.
I want to ask someone to assist me. Does anyone want to help me look around while I point to my eyes glowing, like, you know.
As a
I
note,
can do it every time.
the druid is unconscious in the corner. You didn't kill that last druid, he's only unconscious. Just in case we forget that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the druid.
Does he have rope? He should. He does. The Seeker would walk over and try to tie him.
Yeah, sure. Just see a general sleight of hand check. I'll give you advantage. He's incapacitated and unconscious. You can just lasso him up.
Oh, and I'm gonna look for his body for any component pouches or anything like spell casting focuses.
You would know that the quarterstaffs they were using, they were all of druid staves, so they were their spellcasting focus.
Gotcha. I was just double checking. You know, sometimes I might have backups.
Yeah, Seeker ties him up nice and well, and leaves him bundled in the corner. You still have that stairwell ascending up that you guys have yet to explore, and apart from that, I think that's more or less the winery.
Yep.
But how about the freezer first?
It looks like it goes to outside, and that mold. You don't want to spend too long next to it or near it. It can get pretty chilly.
Can I stick my head in there and see if the mold glows or anything? Like with undetect magic.
It's not inherently magical. It's just like it feeds off warmth. So if you imagine like a chemical reaction where it gives off heat, this mold, whenever it just the way it generates energy, it just absorbs heat from the air around.
I wasn't too sure if it was like magically made. If that makes sense. That's what I was.
It's probably just naturally being cultivated here. You'd imagine like someone probably had a small cutting of it and like has let it grow in this cold cavern, and this warm cavern even.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs when everyone else does.
Seeker would go first due to him feeling the most.
The Seeker, you climb this kind of like moss-covered stairwell ascending up. Like moss clings to the walls.
Callan's following him, by the way.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
And as you kind of reach the top of it, Seeker, you find yourself in a fairly well-kept space. You see a dirty window in the southern wall that allows just like the final little glimpses of the nighttime like light just to spill into this quite confined space. You see wine bottles are very clearly manufactured here. There are tools lying around. There's a wooden rack full of freshly blown glass bottles along the south wall next to the window, and a hearth built into the southwestern corner. Next to the hearth, there's a barrel of standing next to it, and a staircase descends underground, which is the one you just risen up out of. And then between that and the kind of like rack of barrels, there's an external door as well, and another door which you believe would lead back into the main fermentation vat room of the winery.
Does anything pop with magic nature?
If you go up there,
yeah.
The spell magic,
I'm following them.
Detect magic, yeah. Post me it in. Let's just see what it can penetrate and what it can't.
Yeah, because Lux knows the old man was lying about the sword.
Spell, sorry, detect. It's not bad.
Do we need bottles for anything? They are here for free.
Okay, Lux. Something glows inside that barrel.
Ooh. I'm just gonna like go over there and open it. Like you know, don't like a really this like kid like to open it. Like
it's already open. It's a barrel filled to the brim with sand, like a big barrel.
Stick my hand in there and see what I can find.
Yeah, you start rummaging
What colour
around.
is the sand? What colour is the sand?
Just like yellow sand.
No sand.
Usual what you'd expect. Probably not beach sand. It's probably more like river sand. It's maybe a bit more grey. But yeah, you just dig through it. Lux, your hand finds something cold and metal, and you pull it out, and it's a hilt of a sword. There's no blade attached to it.
Guys, look what I've got.
Is that a cross?
It's magical. I'm like, my eyes saw this. I don't know what it is.
Could I
Magical.
perhaps do a check to see if there are any runes on it or anything that could detail why it's magical?
Sure.
Seek or help?
I'll give him the sword.
Yeah, anyone can make an arcana check with advantage then if you're all going to pile in.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, my God.
My boy! Hey, I'm again tempting. Fuck.
Out of character, I think I know what this is.
What weapons are you proficient with, Callan?
No.
Weapons, crossbow. Hand crossbow, longsword, rapier, short sword.
Okay, this is the hilt of a longsword. There's no mistaking that. It looks like the blade has been removed, probably quite clumsily. You imagine by someone who wasn't perhaps the best smith. You can actually see there's still some damage left, where the blade would be reinserted, as if it is missing. It is made of solid platinum. This hilt in the guard, and as you kind of like hold it in your hand and turn it around and like inspect it. Let's see here.
Out of character. I think this is what the card was on about. In character, I don't know.
Out of character, I see Star Wars. In character, no clue.
Yeah.
Color right. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's the weapon rates.
As you hold this blade, this hilt in your hand, Callan, what's your alignment?
Neutral, good.
Okay. Let's see here.
Oh,
Instantly vaporize.
You're a Jedi.
I'm lawful good.
I mean, hashtag. Fucking what's Max is low good. So,
Yeah, I'm lawful good as well.
Seeker is chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic good because he doesn't do malicious things mostly.
You feel, as you hold this blade, a emotion coming from it, of initially hope, and then doubt. And you think the blade might be trying to communicate with you. You think it might have some sort of sentience to it.
This is some kind of. I mean, it's more than just a magic weapon. It's like it's trying to communicate.
Maybe it's alive.
am I there with them? Or am I not?
Yeah, you can all be there if you want.
All right. I was like, let me have a look at this. And I grabbed the sword.
I will like, when like I'm putting my head over his shoulder because he's a short guy now. And I'm gonna kind of see the sword and see if I can.
Put your head over my fucking head, mate. I'm like.
Okay. I was like,
He's just like,
hey, don't take the piss, yeah.
just looking.
Still Max.
Just found it. I'm just wondering what it is.
I'm still Max, all right.
Marcus, the sword is almost good for you, size-wise.
So
I mean, it's a long sword. I know it's quite small now, but it will grow. Sorry, Max. No offense.
Can I have a look at the sword? It's in my hand.
Sure, yeah. Take it.
And I try to I don't know. If anything happens to me, it's like,
you're a military man, Max. You've wielded a whole different array of swords in your time. You hold this hilt in your hand, and I would say straight away, Max would think, that's weird. This hilt is balanced as if there was a blade attached to it, but there is no blade there. And as you hold it in your hand, you feel a washover scent of hope. And then you feel a sense of... I think the best way to describe it would be... surprise.
Reluctance.
And then determination. Like a driving force.
I sense all those things that DM just said.
What's a DM, Max?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Is that the type of drink?
I think this must be. I don't think this is an unholy item. I think this is. I wouldn't be surprised if this is what we came to look for.
That's what
Can I
Well,
look?
Yeah. Yes. Here you go.
of course. And Callum will, while Seeker's kind of holding it and getting the feel for it, Callum will just kind of remind the two newbies of the conversation we had with Madame Eva, the Vistani woman with the cards, and just kind of just linking, because obviously we'll have had to have had quite a significant lore dump when they onboarded with the party.
Would you like a refresher of the cards that you're referring to?
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Whenever Madame Eva drew the 3 of coins, the trader card, she said, "This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. Look to the Wizard of Wines. In wood and sand the treasure hides."
Off character. This is a fucking Holy Avenger. It must be.
I reckon it's Sun Sword or Sunblade, one of the two.
Sunblade. It's a fucking lightsaber.
And then there's like a
Well,
strong.
no, because there's one of them that's just a +2 that deals radiant, and then there's the other one
Which is Strahd's one.
which is the sentient weapon.
Yeah, but
And Lux, I would say
Sequel
Lux,
just-
if you're natural 20, you'd know, same as the staff, if this does require attunement, spending a short rest of it would allow you to learn its properties and any command words or anything like that it may need to be activated.
I'll mention that when Seeker's holding like it kind of looks like that, the icky kind of staff thing where you might need to sit down and try to talk to it and see how it is, and
Hey, babes, how's it going,
just
George?
maybe
Yeah.
hold it, make sure you care for it, and
See, he'll just hold it. He'll hold it upside down. He looks at it as a cross, and he'll holds like this, holds it up is this a trinket?
I
A cross, maybe.
would say I think this is the thing that old man was trying to hide from us.
I don't think he was.
I would.
I don't
Maybe
think
they're
he was
looking
hiding
for
it.
it. Or maybe they're probably looking for this.
Yeah, I think that maybe they put it here for safekeeping or something, but certainly he didn't feel like he wanted to give it up, which is probably why he didn't just say, "Oh yes, there's a magical sword that will talk to you that's just lying around."
By the way, what is the sword? Sorry.
No, go on.
I just wanted to ask, what does the sword say to Seeker?
As you take it in your hand, it feels a wash of hope, and then it feels a feeling of empathy, a feeling of grief, and then a feeling of vengeance.
What's your alignment, Seeker?
Chaotic good so far, I presume. From his
Fuck, there you go then. Don't give your sword to him! It's a nuclear bomb!
I mean, I'll leave it to the party and the DM because I suck at determining my character alignments, let's be honest, so...
Alright. I think we should put these items away for now, and then we decide we're going to do with them later. Let's keep looking around.
Yes, let's make sure that this place is clear, and then go get the Martikovs. It's getting late, and it would be best if they weren't stuck outside overnight. Perhaps we can bring them back, have a rest here overnight, and then tomorrow discuss perhaps taking some wine or having some deliveries arranged to the people that we.
So I have to take wine to the Vistani and to the Blue Wing, right?
Yes, however, we can't go back to the town currently.
Valaki.
Yes,
do you remember
You've been exiled from Valaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
when it comes to going to the Blue Inn?
Oh yeah,
Rely
forgot I had
on
to
me.
sneak in.
I can
I haven't
sneak
had.
in.
We had to sneak back here or something, anyway.
Another
Is
thing
that
that
right?
you would remember is you had one of you, I can't remember exactly who it was, but one of you had found a potion of poison and 3 empty vials on one of the druids upstairs in the fermentation room.
I think that might be...
Yeah.
Just a reminder, because I know it's been
Probably
like
near.
a week.
Yeah.
Seeker tasted it and asked and thought it was wine. He's like, I still have the wine, and he holds out the bottle of poison.
No,
Anybody? It was poison. It was poison, and it looks as though they've poisoned the wine vats. I don't think there'll be very much that will be salvageable, but perhaps between the bottles and the vats and barrels down here, we may be able to fulfill the deliveries that we've pledged.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't be out of Callan's reach. Spells such as Purify Food and Drink exist. Especially in a cleric spell book. I'm not sure if he has access to them yet, but it is something that he could.
I think it's at level 2, level 3.
It's a level 2 spell.
There are spells that can nullify poisons, like in food and drink.
Purify Food and Drink first level spell. So yeah, I will prepare that for tomorrow.
Yeah, so you could theoretically tomorrow morning wake up. If there is any poison, maybe you might want to get detect as well. But like you would definitely know they're in your arsenal. You fully are aware.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would like individually take time, like as the party would go along, I'll just detect magic each room and see if there's anything.
How much can it purify, by the way? 1 gallon? 2 gallons?
I would say if you used an entire casting of purified food and drink on a vat, it would cure an entire vat. Like for an example.
Yeah. The wording says all non-magical food and drink within a 5-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range, and it's a 10-foot range, 5-foot sphere.
Yeah, that would be a big vat.
But I can ritual cast it.
Yeah.
So it'll just take me 10 minutes plus an action 4 times to make sure that they're covered.
Yeah, that's just lovely.
Cool. So yeah, so
we could keep. Sorry, go on. Like we could keep some poisoned wine for occasions.
What occasions do you need poisoned wine for?
Yes, why do you poison?
If we have someone who we are up against who we can feed poisoned wine to, then we can do a lot worse to them in that situation. If you're thinking that Strahd himself is going to fall for and be affected by poisoned wine,
poison is the weapon of the cowards.
Yeah, no weapon is cowardly. All weapons are the same validation.
I disagree.
Or the same level. I can't speak English.
The in and the mirror is coming out.
I would also say if you guys spend going through the winery, detect magic up, just like searching through like various places looking for anything of note, I would ask how intrusive would you be? Bearing in mind this place has already clearly been visibly looted to a certain standpoint. Some of the rooms had like the drawers pulled out and like thrown on the floor. Like, are you gonna open wardrobes, like go through cupboards, like, or are you just going to leave it as it is?
Would be rummaging through, just like he wouldn't be paying that much attention, like he wouldn't be investigating in detail, but you like walk up to wardrobe, open and start throwing stuff out onto the floor.
Callan would probably be talking to Lux about the limitations of his ability, and then going ahead and making sure that everything is going to be visible enough. So if there's a wardrobe, then opening the drawers, opening the wardrobe, and then probably just leaving it to him.
Perfect.
I would say I'm a very curious person. Like, I'm good, but I'm very nosy, so I'll probably be looking through the wardrobe, just like,
I'll probably be searching around, so like I look at cabinets up to see if there's anything hidden for the druids or like anything else. Like, I wouldn't be like looking for like fucking violence and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we could quite easily justify it to ourselves by saying that you want to make sure we know that there's poison, so they could have trapped it. We're just being thorough and making it safe.
Yeah, and
make sure there's no more. I mean, twig blights poured out of a vat and stuff, and like, you know, there could be something like that in a wardrobe. Like, you're trying to make sure the area is safe. So for that, then the party can just make investigation checks each if they want, or you can do 2 at advantage, and just pick the.
I help someone.
Yeah, if you help me, Max.
Yes. I'm gonna assist Callum. Search the house.
Hagrid, let's go and investigate. And he'll take Lux and drag him off with his glowy eyes.
And he's gonna give whoever's doing the check a bardic inspiration.
Perfect.
That would be me, I think.
Be out too full.
Wait, out of character.
1d8.
Customers. You know, if I can add it.
What other character?
I think he's going to ask what's your investigation at, because I don't think Lux is super smart.
He's a dumbass.
Oh, is he dumbass? Okay, fine.
Yeah, wait, I'll tell you, but out of character, if I were to put a number on it, it's about a 1.
Oh, so yours is better than mine. Oh, wait. My investigation is, mine's 0.
Let's flip a coin on
Lux is the real dumbass.
No.
Yeah, well, +1.
What? I mean,
Yeah, Lux, go ahead.
Oh,
take
got
advantage.
some wine here.
You're like, he picks you at the head, like pointing your head.
You got a D.
You've
You got a
got a D8.
D8.
Oh no, I can't. That's right. We're not doing Jesus. I thought
It's
it was
investigation.
Because I've been drinking.
How much have you been drinking?
Too much. What?
Well, like when he came to Guy's mission, fucking, that was.
It's for to add the bardic inspiration. What is it? Is it minus C?
Minus B space
Minus.
1d8.
So with investigate. Well, that's better, I guess.
I'll take the original rules because it was just one roll
Oh, yeah,
for you,
fine.
didn't it? So that'll be +5 for the 4 for a 9. So you and Seeker take the basement, and you get very enthralled with checking every single wine bottle in the basement, just in case there's like something in there, like just really going through it. Unfortunately, you do realize that all of the wine is full on the eastern side. You also would realize that the 3 frosty barrels labeled Purple Grape Mash number 3 are also full, down in the basement. Just following on the wine sprint, you would then end up sort of making your way up, and by that point, Callan and Max have already searched the main fermentation room and like have gone upstairs. They tell you they haven't searched the loading winch yet, so you search the loading winch area, and there's a cart there. It already has 3 barrels on it already. And that one, those also all appear to be full. They are also all labeled Purple Grape Mash number 3. Meanwhile, Max and Callan make their way up to the bedrooms, start going through bedrooms in depth, like make sure everything's fine. More like preparing the rooms, I guess, for Lux to come through and just do a quick scan, because obviously he's having to search everywhere in much more detail, and you guys can cover a lot more ground. And while you're doing so, you open up the drawers on the desk in what you would describe as the master bedroom of the house. There's like a small desk, like pushed up against the wall near a window. And then next to that, there's a wooden chest. In the desk, there's a ledger. Callan, as you pull it open, the ledger is closed. But I think that you're like just a little inkling of like just have a peek, and you sort of flick through, and you notice it basically a brief glance through. It's all the shipments that are made to like of wine, and it's various things. It's like 7 bottles Purple Grape Mash, and then it's like initialed like BV, like 3 bottles Grape Mash, 1 bottle Dragon Crush, BW, and there's among the labels there is K, SteadY, and then if you flick all the way back, a lot of it are the Grand Champagne delivery, but they are labeled and just sent to some place labeled S. The wooden chest is locked.
We've got somebody who can use thieves' tools, haven't we?
Do we?
Do we not?
Nimir used to do the block picking.
Yes.
He's 6 feet under.
Smith's tools, yes.
Oh, that's it.
I'll have a-
I'm not proficient with thieves' tools, but I would have had
A
them.
Thieves'
Yeah, you
tools. I
took
thought it
them.
said Smith's tools, sorry.
But I would have had them. Can I do sleight of hand check to try and figure them out or not?
Yeah,
The
definitely.
question, how is it locked? Is it a padlock? Is it a normal lock in the...
It's a padlock. It's just a ring padlock. So you could theoretically take a hammer to it and just bash it open if you want. You recall there was a druid in this room who probably was, in the midst of turning it over when you guys came in. Callan, you take them out. You watch how your brother had done it, and you kind of just start raking as best you can, but like can't get it to stick. It's not.
Would at this point...
We'll give. Hey, Max! I've just realised that you're here with me and not the other two. Give this a smack, will you? I'll hold it steady so that you can get a good shot on it.
So Max, you can make me athletics check with advantage if you're trying to break the lock open.
Right.
Oh, Max, you've got this. He's going to give him another bar. He's going to give him a bardic.
Yes, so you can add extra D8 on there as well.
Athletics, I think I've got advantage, actually.
I think that's only what you... Oh, because you...
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't. No,
He's not enlarged
Animal
anymore.
handling, intimidation. Yeah, not enlarged anymore, yeah. Okay, let's do this.
And then roll your extra D8. Add it on.
1d8. Oh.
Yeah, beautiful. You probably just take like the like your staff that you've been like kind of making use of whenever you can't have your glaive equipped, and you just kind of line it up nice and cleanly, lift it up, and just in one clean motion, you break the padlock off the actual ring completely, and it just falls and hits the ground with a dull. And yeah, there's just a little the little curved latch just swinging left on the thing, and the Cal, you're able to feed that out very easily. And inside this chest, there is 50 gold pieces, 270 electrum pieces. Each electrum piece is stamped with the profile visage of Strahd von Zadovich. 350 silver pieces. And Callum, what's your passive perception?
16.
16. With your passive perception, there's a secret compartment in the lid, which if you pop open, it contains a gold locket that you would estimate to be worth around 25 gold pieces. And if you pop that open, there's a painted portrait of a beautiful woman in there. She looks very young, full of life. And then there's a pouch containing a mix of 5 gemstones that, you're not a jeweler, but, I'm just going to say it for ease, they'd be worth about 50 gold pieces each. Not diamonds or, anything super massive or big, but just, 50 gold piece gemstones.
Each?
Each 50 or all together?
Each 50. So 250
Wow.
gemstones worth. So it's a fair stash, but this is,
A hidden compartment in a locked box in the master bedroom.
Yeah.
Of a fairly well-run business. Do I recognise the woman at all?
Make me a general intelligence check, I think.
Might look like Irene. Ooh.
Can I help him?
You can assist if you
Can I
want.
help
If you
him?
want to see if you can recognise anything.
Let me see this picture, Callum. What you looking at?
Are you helping or are you rolling yourself?
I'm helping.
Cool.
Just roll again.
14.
14. Look at it. You've never seen this woman before yourself, but you can see the soft cut of her face, the kind of slender form that she holds. And you could see if that was paired with someone stout and a bit more grizzled, such as Davy and Martikov, you'd probably be looking at the family that you know quite well. You definitely see that she is probably, if not a member of the family who've not met yet, or a member of the family who's no longer here, this is probably a keepsake of Davy. Imagine of his wife, wherever she may be.
So he'll open the locket and kind of talking through with Max. It's like, this looks like the Martikov, some family, some ancestor, or perhaps somebody else in the family, but clearly somebody very important for them to hide this locket in the hidden compartment of a locked box.
And as a note, the locket itself, again, it's compared to everything else in this box, the locket's one of the cheapest things in here. It's probably only worth 25 gold. Very, very simple piece.
Let's see, now he's caught in two minds. And he's like, this is clearly sentimental. Yeah. So we want to make sure that the Martikovs get it and keep it because they would treasure it. But then it's a case of, what do we do with the loot? Do we just take the money?
Probably Max is a fucking lawful good guy.
I mean, Callan's neutral good. He does not want to. The Martikovs. He would want the Martikovs to get the locket back, and he would want to be upfront about, hey, we've saved your business, your home here. Could we potentially have some help for on our way?
I'm gonna do like a Max would do. You're gonna go, Callum. As much as this is very tempting, this is, I believe this is not ours to keep. So we should probably return this to the family, and they might give some gratitude for saving their home.
And yes, we should certainly let them know that it's safe. Let's put everything back in the box. Let's take it with us to make sure that it is safe, and we can hand it to them, as I'm sure that this is one of the things that they would value the most.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if that's probably pretty much all they have. But I like the idea. Let's just keep it. Let's stick with us, and then we hand it over to them, and just show them safe.
Wonderful. So Callum will kind of probably loop a bit of the broken padlock through the box just to make sure it stays shut.
Yep.
Pop it in its bag nice and securely after putting everything away in the hidden compartment and all of that.
Perfect.
And we will try and meet up with the others.
Yep, you link up.
Fuck, it had to be Callum. It had to be Callum and Max together, bro. Fuck's sake.
No,
Yeah, you guys divided the party that way.
I mean, Seeker would. I think Seeker would keep the locket and take everything else.
Yeah, but I mean, Lux's lawful good, so he wouldn't let that happen.
So you you come downstairs, you probably find them. They're just like finishing inspecting the barrels and things, trying to make sure there's nothing in the wine barrels, if there's something being smuggled or anything like that. Like, so just like fully getting it in depth in them. And like Callan and Max come down the stairs carrying this like fairly like not like super large, probably like kind of like that kind of the dimensions, like 2 foot across, a foot big, like handle on either side, so they can get a good grip on it.
I'm like, oh wait, the druid, and I'm gonna run downstairs.
Yep.
See if it's still.
It's not been that long. He's still unconscious.
Yeah, that's nice. Like, oh, you forgot about that.
Maybe we should tie him up.
He's already tied up.
Then after him, after looks in, like, I have an idea, and he just pick him up and he'll carry the druid with him wherever they go in case they wake up.
Sure. Seeker says he moves at half speed, dragging a medium-sized humanoid with him.
You like sling the ropes and have him like a backpack.
Yeah, you're still moving at half speed. I don't know if you've ever done like the thing when you're in the car and you're like, I'm gonna bring all this shopping in one go, and you get like one bag on one shoulder, one bag on the other, one hand on that one hand on that one, and you kind of like start walking. And you're like, fuck me, I'm really weighted down by the way of the world here. Like just kind of waddling. That's kind of what you're doing because he's like 150, 200 pounds on your back. You know, like it's heavy.
I do that with the shopping, by the way. It's the only way to do the shopping.
On top of that, wait, who's got, just a clearance, who's got the light sword and who's got the magical staff?
I believe.
I gave the light sword back to Callan, Max, one of the two.
Yeah. I got the staff one. I'm carrying the staff one now because that's what I'm going to do.
I think staff definitely for Max, particularly as none of us are druids. Longsword, I don't know.
Longsword it's literally applicable to all of you apart from Lux, I think.
I can do simple weapons.
Longsword's not simple, it's martial.
I'm not sure if monks can do anything. Yeah, no. Is it a simple weapon?
No, it's a martial weapon.
It's a martial weapon. It's a longsword.
He can't use martial.
You're not a Kensai monk. Yeah.
Max, why don't you take the staff? I'll take the sword, and we'll see. I mean, we can always move things around. You know, I've got a couple of things in my bag that we can always redistribute.
I'm just gonna.
Alright, we do that.
Okay. I'm just gonna stand in between Max, where the staffs are, and the bird. I'm just gonna make sure there's a distance there. There's no chance at all somehow that. Druid.
So have we inspected the whole thing at this point?
Yep, that's it. You've gone through all the rooms. You've searched them all for any magic.
Fine.
Nothing else has stood out to you.
Okay. So So I think alright. So what's the next plan? Are we gonna wake up this druid, ask him some questions?
No. Let's get the Martikovs out from the woods because right now we could all be dead and they don't know. So let's make sure that they know that their home is safe, that their business is safe, that some of their treasured possessions are safe, and then we can barricade the doors with their help and interrogate the druid. Rest. In the morning, I can purify any wine that may have been poisoned.
Fine. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Also, we could probably ask them. I was gonna say maybe we can ask them to deliver the wine for those folks who said they're gonna deliver it to.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, something for the morning once we make sure.
Fair.
I mean, in terms of you know the deliveries, I know Lux, you can you'll be able to get back to Valaki. I can disguise myself using magic.
So can I with my magic.
I can disguise myself. I don't think my head's going this.
I can disguise myself.
Look, it's a child.
Why she got her hands on her face? But she's got a beard.
I can disguise myself. And he squats down. I am a chicken.
You know, if you weren't a Kenku, that could be quite racist. but I suppose you're allowed to make those jokes. I know people who've had careers ruined for a lot less.
Two things. What is the style? How do Lux and Callan? What's their style of magic? Do you have any like flavor for it? And anything in particular? Out of interest, to determine super small action. Like, are you loud? Do you when you do verbal components? Do you say it loudly, quietly?
No, I
you try to
just
conceal it?
kind of whisper to myself.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
The thing is, I'm trying to do it because the Seeker is a spellcaster. He's not smart, but if he saw you speak loudly, he'd gag the druid. Otherwise, he wouldn't.
I mean, druids usually like. I'll probably notice this character anyway. Druids usually. I mean, off character, I know like druids. They need their spellcasting focus to cast spells.
Well, that's
for anything with a material component, yeah, but not
so as soon as as soon as it removed everything, I've got his staffs ready. Let's just make sure there's no one anything with him like components or totems or amulets.
I think we thoroughly looted his body before, and as long as his hands are tied behind him, he should be very limited in what spells he can cast, and I'm sure we can overpower him with necessary force if he tries anything.
Yes.
I mean,
Very well. Second thing, can we call a short break?
I think I'm a fucking.
My food will be arriving, so thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so what would the party like to do?
Head back, I presume.
Yeah, do you want to head back to the marketplace?
Dragging, he's like, my back, it burns.
How about this? Seeker is very fast. Maybe Seeker can run up there and get them to come back and get them.
Or perhaps let's not try and keep splitting the party more than we need to, particularly in the wilderness. Seeker, how fast can you move normally if you had to put a number on it every 6 seconds or so? Normally.
Every 6 seconds, it would be 45 feet.
See, you carrying that guy is basically just as fast as Max is normally. So we can all stay together, it's fine. Because you at half speed is 20 feet, and Max's base speed is 25. We're all good. We'll stick together.
Okay, perfect. So you make your way back out north of the winery, through the now quiet vineyards, and into the savage woods, where the Marchikovs have set up their camp. As you kind of encroach, you notice that at least the kind of male members of the family, apart from Davian, so like Adrian, probably Elvir, who are like Davian's direct sons, and probably even Martin and Vigo, the two like younger boys, and most definitely Claudio, all are kind of waiting just off the beaten track, like watching the winery like hawks. And as you kind of approach, like Adrian probably waves you over and is like, "Alive! We saw them bursting through the main doors. We thought that you were going to get overrun."
As did we at one point, but we managed to prevail thanks to some quick thinking and rather tough skin. And Lux was also there. And couldn't resist, sorry. And we're pretty sure that everything that tried to take over the place is now gone. We've recovered a couple of items that we wanted you to immediately be reassured that we'd found. But if you'd like to come with us, I think your home is safe now.
You present like the chest. Like, did you say that? Like, do you like gesture to it, or like?
Yes. Yeah. So he would have presented the chest and also the longsword hilt.
You'll immediately recognize the chest, and he'll be like, Claudio, go wake up your grandfather. Okay, and he'll scurry off. That would be perfect. We'll get us moved back in. It's getting late. You should probably stay the night. We can help accommodate a little bit. We don't have guest bedrooms, but we've already been roughing it a while. I mind roughing it a few more nights. I'm sure Elvira and maybe Stefania could help. We could just sleep downstairs somewhere.
We can. I through my magical studies, I can create a safe, comfortable area for the four of us, so that you can have your bedrooms. You know, the last thing I'd want to do is deprive you of a bed and comfortable night's sleep after you've been banished from your home.
That's very kind of you.
Out of character, I learned Leomund's tiny hut, so I can ritual cast that.
Hey.
That's very kind of you.
I figured of all the campaigns to need it,
Oh yeah.
now might be a good one now that we're on the
Yeah,
road.
sure.
Yeah. Eventually, Davian, walking stick supporting his hooked form as he begins waddling over in your direction. He recognizes the chest like immediately, and he recognizes the hilt in your hand. And he kind of just like looks at you. He's got this very like narrow kind of gaze, and it's like, well, it appears that you all do in fact pack as much bite as you bark. Most impressive. You point to the hilt in your hand. I was going to give you that as a thank you, but it seems that you have already found it.
We found it. We didn't want to leave it unsupervised if we weren't sure that the winery itself was safe. But you're presenting it to you to make sure that there was nothing hidden between us.
We have no use for it. There was, well, it fell into our laps by strange circumstances. We figured best to save it until it was time, I guess. I think it might be time. He'll like look to the box and he'll like hurry over it, and it was like a mild like not spring in his step, but maybe like panic. I guess you could say like, there's an urgency there, and he'll push the little broken bit of the padlock aside and throw it open. He immediately and like the top of it just pops down, and he grabs it and he's like, oh. He pops a bit open just looks and it's like, I'm so sorry I left you, Angelica. He'll probably immediately put it around his neck and clasp it and hide it under his thing, but like, you have done me and my family a great service. Please join us inside in the warm. We will get fires going and get this blasted rain over. And like he looks up and it's still torrential downpour, like echoing off the leaves and trees all around you. That atmospheric kind of like white noise. As the Martikals will pack up their things.
A word of warning before I forget, before it slips my mind with everything happening. We found some vials that we believe were poison. In the morning, once I have time to re-commune with my deity, I will be able to spend an hour or so to purify the large fermentation vats, I believe, of any poison. But you should be incredibly careful if you or any of your family choose to celebrate in any alcohol induced way.
Perfect. That is much appreciated. Thank you for helping us in this way. The Martikals are eternally grateful. But you have already found one of these, without perhaps even knowing. He will reach into an inner pocket in his kind of shawl that he wheels over him, and he pulls out. It's about a pine cone sized gem, and it glows with this ethereal green sheen. He just looks at you all very, very seriously and is like, "These are very powerful seeds. We plant them in the ground here. Someone long before us imbued them into this land. But it is the only land in Barovia that can grow such wine. You found this one whenever you stopped the Witch of Perez. At first I did not believe it was you until I saw you come out of that house. The other one that has made its way to Yester Hill. You'll point down to the southwest. You see as large kind of rise in the forest, kind of the trees fall away. And up there there's this huge, large, warped looking tree. Kind of sitting on it. Probably an hour or so away, but just the silhouette kind of catches probably the rising, or even just at the cusp of the setting sun even. And he's just kind of pointing out, it's like, for the good of all Barovia, if you can return that to us, it means that we can continue to produce this wine. It is our lifeblood. As for the third, I do not know where it has ended up yet.
out of character. I can't remember if it was you, if it was Melville or Lux that knows where the third one is.
Snitch.
Because I think there's Melville that knew the other one was at Strahd's castle, but I can't remember if it was Lux who got told it instead.
I think Melville.
Yeah. Shit. Okay, that's fine.
So just to understand that there are 3 gems that you need to produce wine here. You have one of them. The other is at Yester Hill, over yonder.
Yes.
And the third, the location is unknown.
We're not sure where it is, unfortunately. But whenever they attacked us and overthrew the winery, it was both the witches, scarecrows, and the druids and their twig blights in mass force. They just overwhelmed us, dug them out of the ground, scattered them all. But we know that there was one in Yester Hill. We had someone keeping an eye on it. The other one, unfortunately, we lost track of it somewhere near Valaki. The Vistani, we think, might have had a glimpse of it, but it is not there anymore.
What did they need them for?
They're very powerful. Very, very powerful. They are life in this place. The same way the wine is the lifeblood of Barovia. They are the life of the wine. They are the life of the land. Very powerful artifacts.
And do we know what is in Yester Hill?
That is where those wild men call home. That is where they make those blasted twigs.
Oh.
I hear there's like loads. I hear there's loads of like people with big fangs that kind of like, do like fangs like teeth like there. I think people call them werewolves or something. Do you think they're down there? Maybe? Because they seem pretty scary.
Not at Yester Hill. The wild men and Strahd's werewolves operate in very different regions. The werewolves take it more to the north. Closer to him, closer to the settlements. From what we can tell, the werewolves have worked out some way through the mist as well. They are bringing new people in every day. Children, we think.
We found some clothes, didn't we, guys? That we might have thought it was.
That is
werewolves. Maybe.
I've got a question for you. Is it? Have you been attacked by these druids before?
Often.
Is it a recurrent thing? Often.
Yester Hill is what they call their home base. There is a tree there that they can use to summon such devious natures. They call it the Gothias tree.
Max gonna look at the party and be like, I think, guys, I think we might need to go to this place and deal with these druids.
I think
we might have fought them today and won this fight, but nothing will stop them from coming back the next day and the day after and the day after.
Indeed. Could you just explain to me, have you seen this tree yourself?
I think Adrian is the only one who's seen it close up. The druids are... No, they are spellcasters. They can harm us regardless of our form. Any raven who gets too close, they throw lightning bolts or fire at. Easier just to stay away sometimes. Adrian! And you see at this point he's like begun to take down tense things like, yes, father? Tell them about the Gothias tree. Anything you know about it? It's not a normal tree anymore, that is for sure. The wild men, they sacrifice things to it and worship it. It looks dead. It is surrounded by dying trees. But it is twisted and malformed. That is for definite. Whatever it is not good.
Callum will turn to Max and be like, Max, do you have that staff that we found downstairs?
Yes, I do. And Max gonna reach his back.
Yep.
Unwrap the tail staff.
Yep.
And then he's just gonna present his staff to the family.
We found this staff with one of the druids. Because I think you described that as quite gnarled and malformed, didn't you? Made of
necrotic energy.
Yeah. It seems to be a similar coloration of the wood, the way it's almost turned black in points. It could be from the same tree.
Well, put it this way, guys. If we do end up going to Yester Hill anytime soon, I imagine that could be fairly, well, it could be fairly useful. It could be completely useless against them to turn their own weapons against them. But either way, Max, do your best to try and understand its properties.
I will. Just once we go back to the Markov's winery, we'll take some rest, and I'll spend some time with this item.
We go to Yester Hill. I'd recommend us to bring fire. It seemed very effective last time I used it. Purchase.
I agree.
Oil. I mean, in fear.
No, go on.
If you spread the oil beforehand, maybe stealthily, I can set it ablaze with my properties and have a massive reaction.
I'm sure we'll have plenty of opportunity for battle tactics once we get a chance to rest, but for now we should walk and talk and get to the dry and safe area.
Yeah, because I'm like really tired. That was very exhausting, and I'm almost like yawning. Like, put the arms there and going, oh, I'm really tired. I want to get some sleep.
So
Seeker agrees.
Callum will start to lead. We've not addressed the elephant in the room, or rather the druid on the shoulder.
Yeah.
The Seeker's just like, what's up? Yeah, let's just talk for 10 minutes in the absolute pissing rain. And I've got an unconscious person.
He genuinely forgot. Do you know when you carry something heavy, but after a while you just get used to it? It's like a part of you.
And
this
when
is
when you take it off, it's like, oh, I'm flying.
What do we do? Do it. And he's gonna take him and he's gonna hold him upside down. He's gonna spin him up correctly, and then back upside down. This is better.
Is the person awake?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is he?
Running asleep?
He'll look to, I forgot his name, the old man, Salt and Pepper. Aye.
Davian?
Yes, thank you, Davian. We have captured one of the druids. Where should we put him? Do you have is there a provisional cell, maybe? Secluded room space?
Best place would be in the cellar, in the mold room. It's cold, but easy. One door in, one door out.
But I can make him wake up now if you want. Looking at my spell slots. But...
I think we are too tired for an interrogation.
What?
I don't think I could ever be too tired for an interrogation.
So do you want me to wait?
Let's wait until we're inside. Let's minimize the variables. And
okay.
Max was about to grab him. He's like, "Oh, okay."
Lux will lower his little finger, ready to cast Cure Wounds, and then be like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's not Cure Wounds. Let's just Healing Word. Let's not.
I don't have that.
What do you mean healing? Let's just wait.
Hit from 1 point.
Wait, no, you're the Asimar. No, yeah.
I'm not Asimar no more.
You're putting hands and I'm like, oh, never mind. Sorry.
Thanks.
You two can have a separate room. And he'll look to Callum and not to the druid.
Let's just get inside and then we can talk, shall we? Callum will just be like, first palm.
All right.
Let's go.
Yep.
We've got a beer in here. We've got ale.
I'll do the normal trick, Max. Shall we?
And then Max goes, takes like the biggest fucking stain that is, and the fucking be like, okay, this one, boom. I think it's like fucking.
He produces like a small barrel, where he pulls it out the cal.
This one, boom.
Callum will be like, Max, do you remember what happened after the big fight before we went downstairs when you ran off and when you were nearly dead?
Yeah? What about it?
I say this with all the love in the world for somebody who I've known for about 2.5 weeks. If you do that again, the next time I do the make something taste like ale trick, it will be Seeker's urine that you will be drinking.
Oh, no! Come on.
So I understand your passion for fighting and success, but understand Seeker's piss. It will happen, so don't do it, please. Thank you.
And then
How do you know how my piss tastes? Genuine question.
when he mentions Seeker's piss, I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy for like a light little rumble.
Me.
Thunder sound.
I'll try, but you know me, like in the heat of battle. I'll look, Okay, I'll try my best. I'm thirsty.
You wouldn't be you if you didn't try to run ahead to, search for victory no matter the cost. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't use my words to try and put the reins on the big man that's still inside of you.
Because not to be mean and all, but like if I wasn't there, you and the bird probably would have been down. So you probably should be a bit more careful.
I killed a lot of those damn sticks.
So
What are you talking about?
Weren't you also down as well, Lux?
Yeah,
I didn't go down for rushing forward once.
No, you went down just because you kept getting hit.
I went
I
down.
took out a lot of them with me.
I went down.
Can I just get a damn drink, please?
Let's get inside. I assume that we've been walking inside.
You all get inside with the Martikovs. They some of them go straight to sleep. Adrian probably sorts you guys out with a bit of small bit of food he can salvage from what's left in the kitchen. Again, a lot of it's pilfered. There's various cooking ingredients in winery stores and things, but yeah, he's kind of more what he's got. He's gonna make the best out of it, kind of thing, and it's all right. It's food. It's edible. It's not the best thing you ever tasted. It's no competition for his brother's cooking. In the Blue Water Inn, those wolf steaks still are. Remember how they tasted, clear as day. But yeah, you are given a little bit of wine as a thank you. Probably before he retires to bed, Davian will he'll bring you 100 silver pieces and put them on the table. In a small pouch, and he'll be like, I know it is not much, but it is a little thank you for at least helping Embarrass. If you can find the other one, I will gladly give you anything to keep this place afloat, but we do fortunately need a little bit of gold to keep us ticking over.
I understand, and thank you. I think that while the money itself, the coin generally will be helpful in our cause, I suspect that the silver in particular will be very useful. I appreciate the sacrifice, as I know that you'll have quite a bit to do to get yourself back on your feet. But on that note, we have spoken to a couple of people, your family in the Blue Water Inn, and also the Vistani camp just outside of Vallaki, who expressed an interest in receiving a delivery, obviously not understanding the situation that you were in here. I was wondering if tomorrow you would perhaps be able to either provide us with a cart or to make a delivery yourself of any wine that we are able to purify. I believe that the cart is currently loaded up and full.
Yes, we've got 6 barrels. We could take them to anywhere you wish. I can get on it first thing tomorrow. Yeah, you should go with it if you can. Make sure it gets there safe. Maybe you even get a reward if it's been that long.
Perhaps, yes. Our return to Vallaki may be difficult due to various circumstances, but we have set up a non-real-time checkpoint, if you like. Anyway, yes, if that would be greatly appreciated. We will happily accompany the shipment, the deliveries, with the 6 barrels, if that's okay.
Also, for us to go to the SteadY camp, do we need to go through Vallaki? Let's go through Vallaki, do we?
You can stay outside the walls, reach
It's
the
fine.
Blackies.
It's to the southwest.
Yeah.
So I was going to say,
west.
I also think we should, as we promised the SteadY, we should take the wine ourselves. Remember last time they gave us nice rewards themselves. So
I know that Krezek also probably needs a delivery. But if you have anywhere you'd prefer us to bring the wine to, just let me know by tomorrow. If you're going to truly go to Yester Hill and get that gem, then we can always wait for your return before we set off. The wine is fermenting, won't take too much longer to be ready, but maybe a week before it is finished.
I will turn to the rest of the group, and I'll remind them that the plan was to get the wine from the winery, deliver it to the Vistani camp for potentially a reward, deliver it to the Blue Water Inn, wherein we would also collect Ismark and Irina to take them to Krezek, and perhaps we could stop by, so basically take them to Krezek and then go to Yester Hill from there once we figured out what Krezek was like.
sounds good.
Also,
I was just like, I really love the Vistani people. They're really fun. When I spent my days traveling with them, they love to party and drink. I didn't really do much drinking though, but they do.
And it'll turn back to Davian.
Davian, yeah, the older man.
And it'll say, is there any chance if we were to stop by on our way from Vallaki to Krezek tomorrow in the lunchtime or early afternoon, for us to take some wine, perhaps in some bottles or some of the smaller barrels in the from the basement, as a gesture of goodwill to Krezek on our arrival, because we've not yet been there.
I'm sure that could be arranged. I wouldn't see why not exactly. Yes, we have at least several bottles tucked away somewhere safe, so it could be achieved. You would remember that the Vistani requested. I think they asked for a specific number of barrels of wine.
I think they said 3. That's what I was thinking.
Nah, they said 6 barrels of wine.
Ah, okay.
So they'd want the lot of what's ready right now. They'd want the whole haul.
Out of character, how many silver pieces would it be needed to silver a weapon potentially?
100.
I mean, yeah.
It's an idea, particularly with Callum with his rapier.
Or you could,
or you with a short sword, to be honest, because you can.
My my punches are magical already.
Or no, or Max's great axe. Glaive.
Yeah, I was like,
I could do my glaive, yeah.
Glaive or stuff, or both.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because Max only uses his glaive when you're big, don't you? When you're large.
Yeah, but that lasts for entire counter. It lasts for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, 10 minutes.
That would probably be the best idea because I've got magic that I can use.
He's got magic. I have the magical punch it.
Lux is not going to go in combat. He's like, pew pew.
Finger guns. Right. Also, if we could call the break shortly, I'm gonna go grab
I'm gonna say the party are gonna be able to get a long rest in, safe and sound in the winery, especially if you're using a tiny hut. And if you spend the part of that rest attuning to some various items, you will see the Gothias staff and the Sun Sword.
Oh.
So then you could decide if you wish to redistribute them. I will say, for argument's sake, probably Max is tuned to the staff and Callan is tuned to the sword.
Yeah, and that's was a plan, I think.
I can't. The link doesn't work for me for some reason.
Gotta click on the URL instead of the actual image. Just give a sec to load.
Yeah, judging by that stuff, it's definitely a bit of you to have it. There's no like spells that would benefit from me.
Alright, be right back. See you in a few minutes.
You get vampiric strikes.
And we will be right back.